Bam, we're live. Did he say anything to you? I thought he was excited to come on the show.
No, I don't know. Was he confusing the next show after we know the workout and he goes live and does it for us?
I hope he's going to be on that show. Oh, I just got a really nice text. Sub on incredible interview with Hunter. Fire, incredible perspective. He was great today.
Yeah, really good show. If you guys haven't seen that yet, go check it out. I'm only about halfway through, maybe a little more halfway through, when he said that our audience cannibalizes itself, which I thought was very interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. What's interesting about that is the same I don't know if I 100% agree with him, but it's interesting because we do tolerate it from the inside, but we don't tolerate it from the outside.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? So someone who could be accused of, if you're accusing someone of cannibalizing us, they'd be the first to defend the realm too. Hiller's would be a great example of that. If someone attacked, like Hiller's made a shitload of videos blasting people who attack CrossFit. You know what I mean? And
yeah,
and to be honest with you, I respect that. It's like blood's thicker than water.
Yeah, or we're our own worst enemies.
Maybe that too. Yeah,
depending on how you want to look at.
But I respect that he doesn't pile on when outsiders do it. Do you know what I mean? It's like talking shit about your mom to your friends, and then your friends are like, "Yeah, your mom's a whore," and you're like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa."
Yeah. Hey, only I could say that. Yeah.
Yeah. You're like, "Geez, Louise."
With all this stuff about a leak.
Stanky leak. Tell me about it. Where would I look? What's the level of stank? What's the leak? Yeah, I have no idea.
To that point, it's actually been very tight-lipped this year. I would say, like, I haven't caught anything. Like no maybes, no partials. Last year we had the partial where Dallin Pepper thought he had the workout.
Oh yeah, that was that with the whole was that Grant, the Keeping It Real debacle that Grant got all twisted up in?
I think so. I can't remember it exactly, but yeah, I think there was like a cohort of them that kind of knew it but didn't know it. It was a little weird.
Hats off to Grant for surviving that. That was messy.
You know, he's a survivor. Survived a couple little things, including a dense update show.
Yeah. Jason guessed it spot on. I like the word guessed. Man, you should put guessed in quotes.
Yeah.
I heard that from people. Oh, by the way, Hunter had some crazy. He said Von Rohr like she is just a freak. He said she had world-class times in High Rocks, and yet she was a shitty runner. I mean, relative.
Right.
Excuse me, to those in the sport. Boy, we really saw hats off to her. We were talking about Colton's performance being Frazier-esque, in the heat of the moment, just on a live open. But Von Rohr kind of put herself. I don't think Tia beats her on that. Do you?
No. I don't think anybody beats her in that. It's best in the world at that particular workout combination for sure.
Hey, I would be very curious to see her do the men's weight and with the men's, and I would also be very curious to see Colton do the women's. like maybe Colton just can't move faster than that. Do you know what I mean? That was one of the things that Hunter was saying. He's like, yeah, what sets you guys, one of the things that distinguishes CrossFitters from High Rocks is you guys do some things really, really fast. Like stepping over that box, through that box, on top of the box. Rambler, Tia can beat anyone. I mean, I wouldn't bet the house that she can't beat her, but I don't think she can.
No, she would need, no, not in that workout. And the interesting thing too, about not her, but what's the chick's first name?
Mirham Von Rohr.
Mirham. Yeah, I was gonna say Mirjam, and I was like, I know that's not right. So the thing about
that works. It's spelled, I think, Mirjam.
Yeah,
Hunter kept calling her Miriam.
Miriam. She did it twice. No, she did it the first time and got like 10 something, and then was like, oh, I could go faster. So
I think I did read that.
Yeah. So the interesting thing is like if Colton redid the workout, and I asked him this when I saw him at the GameStop screening. I was
Yeah.
like, will you do that again? And do you think you could go faster? And he's like, I do think I could go faster, and I really don't want to do it again. He's like, but I will if I have enough time and think I could beat the score if anybody beats me. So that's something else you got to take into consideration. If he does it with the 20-inch box jump step down and doesn't even lower the weight on the wall ball, I guarantee you Colton shaves 40 seconds off his time.
Just from those 4 inches.
Yeah, just less travel. You know what I mean? Up and over the box and stuff. Like, I just think all that makes a difference on the leg fatigue. And we already saw how fast he goes in terms of his cycle rate with the wall ball, like how he's just able to just hammer through it. So if you give him a little bit less of a travel time on the box jump, so his legs aren't working as hard for the step overs or the jumps, like he's moving even quicker through those transitions.
Maybe I should send Sean Mack a link. I have a question. I don't know if you or I are the guy to answer it. Maybe we'll have to turn to the crowd. I don't think that there are very many things that Christy Kringle can beat Mirhan Von Rohr or Lucy Campbell in.
Yeah, what are you saying? She's just eye candy? She's eye candy there?
Well, saying? No, I'm not saying she's just eye candy. She's for sure eye candy, but I just don't. Those two seem in a different realm than her. You know what I mean? Although she's like I underestimated her last year at the games. I forget what she took. She did great. I did not. I just kind of viewed her as a runner. And she proved to be better than that. But I think that at once, and maybe I'll eat crow again. I think this is just a race between Mirhan Von Rohr and Lucy Campbell. But I'm curious what anyone thinks that Santa Claus's wife. What's her name? How come her name? I call her Christy Kringle.
Santa Claus's wife.
What's Santa Claus's wife's name? Christy Kringle. Christy.
Miss Claus?
Christy Claus. Yeah, I'm wondering if there's any. Can anyone think of movements that she could win in? Is there something that could be there? And then even if there was running, I don't think she's going to beat Lucy either. Even if there were shuttle sprints. Let me see.
No, it is gonna. I do think it's gonna be workout dependent though. And just to be honest, like I don't know that much about Mirjam.
Mirhan Von Rohr.
Mirhan Von Rohr. I don't know much about her. Like I know we've talked about her before in the past, and I know that and obviously she crushed this last open workout. But I don't know enough to say like, hey, if ring muscle ups show up in this one, like. Is Amy Kringle going to be able to move quicker and faster on those than is Miriam? Like, I don't, you know what I mean? I just don't know enough about her personally, but I do think it's going to be heavily workout dependent. And same with Lucy Campbell. Like Lucy Campbell's a stud, obviously, but we don't know what might show up that could potentially have holes in her game compared to these other two ladies.
I don't think that there'll be anything in the open ever that exposes a hole in Lucy Campbell's game. I think she's just.
I just meant versus the two ladies she's competing. It's not like a hole in general, but if there's a movement that's not her best or not her best right now, and those other two excel at it, like in the case of wall balls or something.
Oh, right. Okay, right.
They could get a slight advantage just talking amongst these three ladies that are going to be going head to head shortly here.
I think Lucy is pretty much bulletproof. Pretty much, if she's as close as you get in the cohort of female athletes who are out there who's bulletproof at anything that doesn't push into over 90% her max. Mm-hmm. But she has a tremendous ability at a really heavy weight still for high repetition turnover. Someone did say, Amy, if there's a rower, Amy might excel. She does look physically like she's the best rower. I don't know how their numbers shake out.
Stack. Yeah, that's them on the leaderboard, huh? So she got 7th and Amy in 8th. And then where was Lucy? Did she get 2nd? Lucy got 2nd.
Yeah, 2nd. Right?
Yeah, so yeah, I mean she's just a stud. So
and Tia ran away with it.
course. Of course she did.
They're all good rowers. They're games athletes. I'm guessing. Really, you think Mirham's a good rower?
Yeah, and then again, we're comparing them
Sure
to
as
the
hell
three of
doesn't
them
look
right
like a
now.
good rower. What? Say it again.
And I was just saying, we're comparing them to the three of them right now. Like, we're not comparing them to like overall. Like, of course, they're all games athletes and good rowers, but just talking about in this particular matchup.
Yeah. According to Miramar Van Roar. Miramar. Okay.
Miramar Van Roar. So you got to put a little emphasis on it. Have you watched the doc yet?
No.
Are you gonna get it and watch it with the boys?
Yeah, I keep forgetting. I need to just do that. I need to sit down and do that.
Dude, I think you'll like it.
Are there reviews for it out?
Good question. I know it was climbing up the charts. I
Games
saw on
2026 documentary reviews. I'm sure there's a ton of reviews on Apple. I know this in general. I heard Scott Schweitzer doing a review of it, and he says he's very hard on the docs. I think that I'm the opposite. I think I get so excited. Like you put that Transformer music in there and some slow-mos and some vroom.
You're good to go.
I'm fucking good to go, man. You drop a few F-bombs.
Well, we got that covered.
Yeah, I'm gonna be pretty happy. Review of the new Get With The Programming has it. It says review the new 2026 CrossFit Games season. I don't see reviews for the doc. Oh, my review of the 2025 CrossFit Games doc on Reddit. I don't really care what pedophiles think.
We wanted more teen exposure.
Doesn't Apple have a review page?
Yeah, it should. Wait, did Scott Schweitzer give it a review? I haven't heard it yet.
Yeah, he reviewed it on his show. And maybe I'm off here, but as I recall, he said basically, there's nothing like new. It feels like the old ones. And I feel like that I've heard that 100 times. You know what I mean? I've even heard Dave say that, Jesus, this is just like last year's. And like, I don't care. Like I'm like me personally, I get into it.
Now,
and Scott did say this, and this is his bias. This is like, I'm not surprised. This is from a guy who covers masters athletes, right? He gave the example. He goes, there was none of Carolyn Prevost, and he said some other person. And I wanted to be like, yeah, dude, because no one gives a fuck about those people. Like, but I think he does like those side stories.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm like, no, thank you. I just like, if you're not winning, I don't care.
What do you like? How do you make that different though? Because you're just showcasing the game. So it's like, you know what I mean? Like, unless you say, okay, we're going to play some heavy bets on these people. So then you have a bunch of at-home life and cutbacks with them. But I imagine that would increase the budget for this thing significantly, because how you would have to cover a wide spread of people in the top 10 or so, right? Thinking, okay, we know that the good chances that these, or maybe the top 5 that are going to win. So we have footage of cutting back and forth with them at their home life way earlier on. But outside of that, like I don't know how you would change it much.
Yeah, there's character arc. You're right. Like if you can have a great story that Roman Krenikov breaks his foot while he's winning, and he's gonna and then Adler comes and wins, or if you have the Lazar Jukic, which they didn't even finish that doc, which is crazy that they didn't finish it.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are things that can happen as a filmmaker that add to the story tremendously. But other than that, you're right. It's just character. You're picking 4 or 5 people, you're following their character arc, and that's it. And the same is true with all sports, all the embeddeds you see on the UFC, all that shit. Sean Mack, what's up, buddy?
What's up, guys? Sorry if the sound sucks or connection's no good, I can jump off. But
no, it's my fault for sending you a link late notice. I thought we were gonna have a Taylor in here. Hey, what before we go into the movements, it's 4 a.m. We knock on Mirham's door, we knock on Kringle's door, and we knock on Lucy's door, and we're like, this is the workout. And we don't. Who would you bet on if you had $1 million? You had to bet.
Without knowing, I guess.
Yeah.
Lucy finished the highest at the games. She's looking super solid. I mean, you'd have to go with her. I think she's the favorite.
And then second place?
So Miriam has won the Open. So she's got to be second, just with it being an open test. So it's
Fair.
tight. It's tight. So I feel like I got her in second.
What do you okay, so if you had to pick a workout for Amy Kringle to win with these two, and they're both savages. Lucy showed it at the games. Miriam, former Open champion. What would you pick for Amy Kringle to win?
I feel like it's really tough with this combo because Miriam's got the edge on range of motion, kind of the Colton effect, like a lot of that range of motion stuff. And you're just classic CrossFit, the rig, the cycling. As we saw last week on the wall ball, if shorter athletes have the capacity and go unbroken, they can actually cycle wall balls faster than the tall people. And then if you're like, okay, well, how about we go more power output and we do a row and we make it more about that, then I feel like we've still got Lucy Campbell on the other side. So I feel like she's kind of just in the nature of the Open and these two people she's competing, she's just solidly in third based on the style of the test.
Yeah.
I don't know if there is a workout. Like I feel like Amy Kringle picks up points at the games on some of those more athletic events that you just can't do in the Open, the running and a lot of the other stuff that she excels at.
And of the engines, who is Kringle third in the engines too department?
I think these three all have elite, and I mean obviously they're all top 10 in the game, so they're elite, but I think they're all so tight that it almost can come down to movement combinations and range of motions or an edge on that one little thing. Like, if we get a row, maybe that gives the edge to Lucy. If we get rig and range of motion biased week, we get Miriam, and maybe it's just like a duration, maybe a longer workout. We start to see Amy kind of overtake Miriam's explosive short power output or something like that. But it's tricky. I don't know if there's a world where she takes this down.
Let me go back 1 second and get my fellow podcaster, Mr. Schweitzer from Clydesdale Media. That part was a joke. I was more concerned about not capturing Olivia's comeback through the weekend. Fair enough. Yeah, that would have been a great. That would have been great too. But and also to put that in context of what Souza was saying, it's like they probably were limited. Well, of course they were limited on resources. Ideally, you follow all the athletes and then you pick the best 4 character arcs, and you have, you know what I mean. You have the possibility, you have all of them, but they just had to choose. Thanks for clarifying, Scott. Katie, even after watching your Open workout, Sevon, and your pathetic attempt, I still like and appreciate all of your shows. Oh, thank you. Both channels. I like Kill Taylor any format, and I'll keep watching even though you got a dachshund and those are lame little dogs. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Wow.
Solid. I can do no wrong in Katie's eyes.
Yeah.
I got a shit dog.
Jeez.
And a God, the dog is so cute. My God. You ever had a dog where you have to worry you don't kill the dog on accident?
Yeah, it's tiny, huh?
Dude, like if a mouse trap could catch my dog.
Did you get your dog? Did you get your dog from Colton?
Yeah. The thing
Nice.
is tiny. Also from Scott, I like the documentary. There were some cool moments, but we were spoiled in the doc and old behind the scenes releasing in conjunction in the old days.
That's an interesting point, Scott.
Yeah, and actually, it's too bad I missed that because he really drove that home that he liked both of those being, a games product that came out.
Yeah, I don't know if it's our audio or take. I think it might be coming out of Sean's.
Yeah, we just have a slight. I think we have a slight echo.
Yeah,
from Sean, but it's tolerable.
I think
Sean,
go
guys.
Go. It's okay. No, buddy. I'm glad you jumped in. Go out on a limb here and let's make a workout that Amy can win. First of all, let's make a workout Amy can win.
So I would
Against
think
these two beasts.
So I would say her best shot would be maybe a progressive barbell workout. So we're laddering up in weight on a barbell. So something that gets heavier and it's a little bit more about that top end load. I think that especially if maybe we do like a clean and jerk, we might knock Lucy Campbell out of the running there. And Miriam is exceptionally strong. So as well, but squatting, but maybe that overhead edge, maybe Amy's able to kind of win like, I I think it was, not almost super fuzzy on the 2019 open workouts, but that box step up, clean and jerk, pistol, clean and jerk ladder that we did in 2019, something kind of like that. Increasing weight on a clean and jerk might be the style that would give her the win on this.
Lupe says rowing, shuttle runs with increasing cleans. There we go.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
strict handstand
Yeah.
push-ups was added in there too, which would be interesting.
But if there are pistols, I'm guessing Mirham puts on a clinic.
Right. See, it kind of depends on the volume, the structure, the quantity.
Hey,
Yeah.
I'm and to be honest, I'm all about her. I'm all about I would love to see something like that. What's the Mary? I'm all about, I would love to see Mirham do bang out of Mary. But she's no good upside down relative to the
I
other
don't
two.
remember how she did versus the other two at the games last year. But that might be something that others have seen.
I was gonna say she's got the short levers on her hands there, so if we want to factor that into place, I mean, she would cycle it out faster.
Adam Blakesley, some critique for Sean Mack. I don't think Sean's considering how hot Amy Kringle is. That's a good point. Do you put that into your
into the equation?
Yeah.
I feel like I skew more towards like Ty Jenkins. I think he blocks all the girls who show too much skin on the Instagram. Yeah, I just try to keep it, pure stats if I can. Try not to be biased.
Amy would have to cover her face because, man, it's so funny you say that, Adam, because someone who saw her for the first time recently texted me and they said, "Hey, have you ever seen Amy Kringle in person?" I'm like, "Yeah," and they're like, "I had no fucking idea how hot she was." They said she said it's just mind stopping. What Kringle is fuego? What's fuego mean?
Fire.
Hot.
Oh, fire. Yeah. Okay.
A fire.
Yeah. Paper Street Coffee says, "Sean, you're missing out."
I'm missing out.
Yeah, Mac Daddy looking damn good. I know that's good. Put him in the corner of the frame driving a truck. It sort of has added some. Boys, what do you think about the time domain of this workout? It was interesting. We had Alexis Raptis on the show yesterday, and she was talking about it. Briefly, we covered, is 12 minutes in Dave's mind, is that the long workout or is that the short workout? Or is it the medium workout?
I think it could be the midpoint. So this week we could get something that is a 20-minute AMRAP or, maybe not as hard of a cap because we just saw such an aggressive cap last week, but maybe is taking the elites 15 to 17 and we're all doing a 20-minute AMRAP, but they've got some wiggle room. And then maybe week 3, we see something on the shorter end where at least the elites are going in the sub 8 range and they're ripping on some classic CrossFit stuff. And then, maybe we all work for 12 or 15 minutes again, but at least, if they're considering time caps, I feel like in the past, Dave tries to consider what the elites time frames are. Sometimes us normal people work out for 12 and then 15 and then 20 minutes and we don't get a short workout, but that 15-minute took Matt Frazier 7 minutes. So it's considered the short workout.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say too, is a great point. It's like typically when we have the time cap on a workout, it's like the elites there are going to finish well underneath it. So the time cap for them or the time that the workout takes them versus the majority of us is completely skewed. This one was actually really close in terms of time cap and actual total work done by the time done by the athletes. So I think in order for this to go long, like he's going to have to do a 20-minute AMRAP. And we've seen that typically happen in the open. I would say that this is the 12 minutes is the mid-range. And I honestly think that we will, I don't know. I think we might end up seeing like a 20-minute AMRAP here and testing some endurance, especially like with these 3 ladies. Like I would not surprise me if we saw something similar with like a deadlift, a row, and maybe some sort of inverted, like whether it's a wall walk or whether it's a strict handstand push-up or a handstand push-up or something of that nature. Or even a burpee. We could see row, deadlift, burpee and go for 20 minutes where you have a little bit of a weightlifting factor in there, but you also have a lot of capacity by going long and keeping it aerobic.
Sousa's going to love this comment because he's the only person every show he says, "How's my connection?" Sousa's camera shitting on everybody else.
Thank you,
You-
Dex.
Yeah, you are crisp.
Nice.
Wasn't there a year, was it even last year that the workout was everyone had to finish? There was a workout that didn't have a time cap. Was that the workout Tyson Bagent did last year? Was that workout one? Wasn't there a
No,
workout?
no, that
That's
okay.
not
The workout that had a time that was for time that did not have a time cap was 14.5, and that was the thruster bar facing burpee workout. That was the one where Dave had the famous like the clock will save you not. I think outside of that, we've
Oh,
always had a time cap. I think the
Bruce
time
watch.
cap for I think the time cap for the last workout that Tyson Bagent was in was just one of those ones that it was like tight. So like a lot of the people were probably going to get capped out rather than finish the workout.
okay. I kind of like that. So that's only been done. That hasn't been done very many times, right? Where it's like, hey,
No.
there's no time, just go.
And I know you like that, but like, and Sean will test this too, like affiliate owners and coaches, those get rough, man, because some people are like, you know what I'm saying? Pull up a chair, my guy. You're gonna be chilling for a little
Yeah.
bit. And so those get a little tough.
The
I
5
like
a.m. class is still there at 8.
bro, like it could get rough, you know what I mean? So I think a time cap is always good. It's always pretty necessary. I don't think he does it without a cap. I think in this world of accessibility now, I think that those come in and save logistics for affiliates, but also individuals doing the workout.
He can't.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Sean.
I was saying 2014 on that workout, we had a member take 75 minutes to do that workout because that was also pre-scaled division. So you had no scaled weights. So it was RX only. There was one version of the workout.
That's
so it's
right.
evolved a lot since then. And they've openly said that they want you to be able to run 2 heats in a class. I feel like 20 minutes is the limit for a time cap or an AMRAP in the open nowadays.
Yeah.
That 10 rounds of dubs and thrusters, one had 45-minute cap, which was brutal too for people bad at dubs. Wow, what year was that?
That a 45-minute cap.
17.5. It was long. I just programmed that as a repeat maybe about a month ago, and I think I changed it to a 20-minute cap because I was surprised to see a 30 or 40-minute cap on it or something like that.
They will run 26.2 in 31 minutes from Portugal. The athletes are Amy Kringle, Lucy Campbell, Miriam Von Rohr. Dave Castro will be making this announcement too. I guess he's going to make all 3 announcements this year.
Thank goodness.
When after we get these scores, we will know not who's going to win, but we will know who's out, right? I mean, definitively we'll know who's out.
What do you mean? Like who's out of contention for?
Yeah, who's out of contention? Who's out of contention for for winning it?
Oh, for winning
the
it.
open?
Yeah.
Like we'll be able to be like, hey, it's only these 10 people who are left. 10 men and 10 women.
Yeah,
we'll be able to narrow it down to that.
With the 3-week format, yes, because before it was like the 5-week format gave more opportunity in there. You're right. By the second when this workout comes up, unless there's some really weird shakeup on the leaderboard, which I don't think there will be, I think you'll have your kind of grouping of people and you'll know who's out.
It looks like my comments are being auto deleted. I don't know, but everyone donated $1.99 and we'll run a little test on that. It's always wild to me. People will be like, it'll be so obvious YouTube's glitching.
Yeah.
And people will be like, someone's deleting my comments.
And
dude,
here's the other thing.
No one has any time to delete any comments.
And check.
I know that's not what you were saying, Han Solo, by the way. I know that's not what you were saying. I'm just saying in regards. Yeah.
And check the chat because you guys might be on like top comments versus all comments. And like you got to toggle it because sometimes it doesn't show all the comments if you're on top and not all.
Yeah. And I think there was only maybe like 4 or 5 months ago, there was like a 1-week window where I was going through the YouTube comments and blocking certain people. And I don't think I blocked more than 3 people. So we don't really have I'd love to block people. We don't have the bandwidth to we don't have the bandwidth to do that. I don't even go to YouTube comments anymore. I got shit going on. Check 1, 2. Thank you. Yep. Your comments are working. If you'd like to test out your commenting, donate money. Any particular reason why they would do? Does the fact they're only using 3 athletes give us any insight into the workout as opposed to using 4 or 2, like in terms of what the setup would require? Or you think they just it's just random
No,
happen
I
chance?
think that that would have been a great question for Dave. I threw that in the comments when you guys had him on the show too. I'm really curious as to how they choose these matchups. But
Let's
I
ask
think it
him
might.
Monday. We'll try to get him on Monday, and we'll get that question in.
Okay, that'd be cool. And then I just think that I'm curious just to like how they put that together, because it might just be logistics. They might just be like, hey, look, we look inside the top 10 of the leaderboard. These women, we knew we're going to go to Portugal, so it's a geographic thing. Like they're just closer in proximity to where we're going to be, and these 3 happen to work well. So it could just be something as simple as that.
Because I asked this, they could have got Lucy McGonigal. Mic check. Thank you, Colton Powers. Mic check. Yep, test complete.
Good luck,
um,
Colton Powers.
If you had to pick people who are over there, I mean, I get Lucy Campbell, right? United Kingdom.
Yep.
And I get Miran von Rohr. What is she? What's CHE? Chechnya.
Yep, she's there.
Amy Kringle, Great Britain.
I think we bombed them. No. Okay.
But Lucy McGonigal, why not grab her? Claudia Gluck, France.
Oh, I mean, that's a good point. Where's Lucy? Where was she? Scroll back up. Was she inside that top 10?
11th.
11. So just outside the top 10. So if that's
but an up and comer from the proven camp, still, I think she's going to be a crowd favorite. Young, 18, 19 years old. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah. She's going to be a superstar, no doubt. Especially with being under Tia the way she is. Like yep. You could see that relationship being cultivated there. And I think Tia needs that transition. I mean, man, she's been in the game for so long and been at the top for so long. That's got to be a hard shift in her life if she truly is, going to retire. And so that would be perfect for somebody like Lucy to be able to have her, right?
Yeah.
And she's going to be
and she's going to get a lot of easy camera time if she's in the proven orbit.
Yeah. Oh, she's in Nashville training, confirmed by Paper Street Coffee, which is in the proven affiliate.
Okay, so maybe that's why, because she's not in Europe. Also, I know that CrossFit has a budget, so they're probably not interested in flying in. Like, where's this? Is this someone from Zimbabwe? What's this? What the hell is this one down here? ZWE.
Country. Yeah, the Rebel Renegade Games, I believe.
Oh, Oceania.
Oh, Oceania?
Does Africa go to Oceania? Is that an African? That just looks like an African flag.
Competes in, yeah.
Oh, well, so the semifinals some of them weren't regional locked last year. So she may have gone over or lived somewhere that's Oceania, yeah, but competed somewhere else.
Joseph Ramirez, $2. Cody Mansell, thank you for the cause. The good cause.
You, Cody.
Dolori.
1984.
Great profile. Dang.
Yeah, Souza, it's funny you bring up the Tia thing, and like kind of her taking these athletes under their wing. I was actually just talking with the owner of our gym, Dave Lorenzo, he just brought up, we were talking about the doc, and he brought up the Tia scene, and he was like, I feel like Tia is that athlete who's going to have a really hard time, like, finding her purpose once she leaves the sport. And I was like, she's got a thriving gym, elite training camp, all these athletes, 2 kids by the time she retires. Like, and it's like, is that even enough for her because of her mindset? Like, what do you guys think about that? Like, will she step away? Or is she going to come back and win 1 more? Or is she going to keep going for like 4 more? Is grooming like Olivia and Lucy McGonigal and Jay Crouch and Maddie Stork going to be enough? Or is that like not even enough for her because she's just so all in with everything she does?
It's a great question. I want to see her transition to that coach kind of mentor role. And I think we saw Rich do this. Like Rich went team because I just think the guy just loves to compete and still wanted to kind of go out at the top and compete. I would be curious to find out if there were any sponsor obligations as well that were led to that decision. But as far as what Tia goes, is like, she's got nothing left to prove. I mean, she has just been dominant for so long that I think when you look at the Murata stuff she has that she's doing now, like you had just mentioned, Sean, like I think that it would be a really good time for her to transition into almost like, dare I say, like this spokesperson for the sport as well, too, for the CrossFit Games, because the way that she speaks, like the way she was in the doc, I mean, minus the F words, everybody's got their whole opinions about that. I thought she looked like a superstar. But I think like her transitioning to somebody who we still see in the spotlight quite a bit, just not in that athlete role, would not only be good for Tia, but would be good for the CrossFit Games overall.
She's 100% more Rich Froning than Matt Fraser. I don't know what Matt Fraser pivoted to, but she is not going anywhere. She is going to do stuff like Rich did the Leadville, like Rich did teams, like Rich got into hunting and started a hunting channel. There's no she really enjoys the journey. Matt made it clear that the journey was very, his journey was unique, right, to the games every year, and just his the isolation that we saw and things like that. That is not. I don't think Tia can walk by a barbell without picking it up, and I think she is likes a target to train for, and I think we're gonna see. Is it tactical games? Is it High Rocks? Does she go to that Enom thing? I don't think they're stopping her. Entertainment tithing. Thank you. Also, free shipping on all U.S. orders through Friday. Wow. Vindicate. VNDK8.com. Free orders. Free shipping on all U.S. orders through Friday. What's today? Thursday. Yeah.
Order
But what
now,
do you
people.
what do you think, Sean? You think she steps away?
I think she's going to come back and try to win one more at the minimum. But she did. I mean, even the last season, she was going all in on High Rocks and then pivoted. Remember we just didn't know if she was going to sign up, and she didn't give it a full effort on that first workout. And then she, pivoted away from High Rocks. I forget what happened. There was some issue with her qualifying score or something.
Like that
she got sick at like a
that's
world
right.
championships or qualifier.
Really, really sick.
That's right. Yeah. So she had to pivot, and she just kind of like fell back on CrossFit and then won the CrossFit Games. She obviously then she did the Open. She had the runway of a full season, so, she was pursuing High Rocks at an elite level in her off season from CrossFit. So, I mean, she was still in unbelievable shape, but yeah, an illness took her out. So yeah, she could go set records in High Rocks and then go do the Xenon thing and be the champion of that if she wants. And, she can just bounce around, but I'd love to see her get to 10 championships that are, Rich has got 10 if you include the team, but 10 individuals is just, that may never be matched again.
It's crazy.
So what Souza said, obviously she has nothing to prove, but to have one kid and win the games, crazy. To have two kids and win the games, at some point you get so many accolades, they get kind of lost in the stats, but to have that and 10 win, what is she? She's at 8.
Yeah, 8, right?
Yeah, 2 more. And the other thing too, like I see a couple people in the comments talking about like relevance. Like I really think she has this Rich Froning quality where like I don't think they have to make an effort to be relevant. I think if they're still around in the sport and they're still like the proven camp is up and coming, man. Like they got some studs in there. They're going to be around for a long time, just like Mayhem is. I truly believe, like you said, Sevon, like Tia's not going to walk by a barbell and not like pick it up and work out. Same thing with Rich. I mean, you're not like, if all the cameras went off and all of his media turned off tomorrow, he will work out just as many times as he is doing now. None of that matters to him in terms of like staying relevant. In fact, Rich might be at a point now where he just would like rather not be relevant. But I think with the two of like with Tia and with Rich, like their personalities, the way that their leadership, like what they've done inside the CrossFit Games, like I think that combination keeps them relevant as long as there's still cameras around. I do think some of the other people in the past though do struggle with that, and it could also have to do with the infrastructure around them. Like, look at what's happening over at Pruin. Look at, I mean, it's no question what's going on over on Mayhem and the media powerhouse that those guys produce with Scott Vandersloot and all of them. Like, so that matters a lot. And I don't really think that she needs it too much for relevance.
I'm trying to think though. It's hard to compare anyone to her, but like Michelle Latange, she was a pretty big name, and she walked away. And she became a coach, but no one remembered her. But I guess you can't really. I can't think of anyone to. Can't think of anyone who won the games who became a coach.
Yeah.
I guess maybe Ben Smith. Is Ben Smith a coach?
I would say Ben's a coach, yes, and I think he enjoys coaching, and I think that's also like he coaches actively in his affiliate. Like Rich has said multiple times, like I'm a training partner, like I am not a coach. Like I'm somebody who might give you some tips and things like that, and
That line's
work
getting
out with
blurred
you.
for him. Every year it seems more and more coaching's coming out of him.
I mean, I don't think so though, because like when
No?
you see what Dom does and like when you see what those other guys really do from that coaching standpoint, I think
right.
it's a very different place than what Rich does and what Rich provides. And then same with Tia. Like I think that she would be in the same position as Rich, meaning like you could be sure you could hang the coach hat on her, but really I think she's going to be more of a training partner, more of a mentor than necessarily like a coach, like writing down and doing stuff like, what we see that
There'll
Matt
just be
Torres
people
does.
from her camp being like the whole time, Tia could win the games if she came back. Call her. Hi.
Yeah.
Hello?
What's up?
Hey, what's up, dude?
I mean, this is Dex.
Dex, hi.
Dex.
What's up, brother? Souza, what's good, buddy? Do you guys think, like, long-time listener, first-time caller, brother, love you guys as, like, an old CrossFit historian. Do you guys think when they transfer out of being, like, champions, multiple champions, and just like Rich T and Matt, said the same thing when Matt transitioned out and they burned hot for, like, 1 or 2 years and it seemed like the fire went out. You see Rich go, like, do you think there's the same kind of just pride in growing the empire and being able to pass that on to people? Do you think Tia could step into that role? Because that's always been kind of my perspective on it.
Go ahead. I'm not sure I understand the question. Go ahead, Sam. Hey, Sean. Go ahead, Sean.
Oh, so I think the difference is if you just compare Matt, you put Matt versus Rich and Tia. The exciting thing about Tia is Rich owned an affiliate. He was an affiliate owner from that older era. And even though Tia wasn't an affiliate owner, she now is. So she kind of got into it later in her career. And that's what's kept Rich in the game is the Mayhem Empire and the media machine he set up around him, where Matt got done and he said, all right, I'm going to build like just the back room in Mayhem. I'm going to build it at my house or whatever, around the corner from my house. And you guys can all come here. Elite athletes only, our private gym. There's going to be 5 of you or 4, however many people went there. And we're just going to train to win the CrossFit games. And you can look at what happened to Hopper and Mal, and they all just got spit out, where, people make the pilgrimage to Mayhem to live a whole different life. I think the same thing could be happening in Nashville. Proven's media is getting better and better, and Tia could literally emulate Rich and be that training partner, like Souza was saying. And Shane is the, and his team are the,
the Dom,
the Dom and the Angelos, right? And you get more people, more knowledge coming in with Angelo moving into the full-time coaching role. So you're seeing maybe a similar kind of hierarchy of how the camp's growing and what they're doing with their, with their wins, with their fame, versus what Matt did was just try to, online program and then a gym for elites only. And we kind of saw how that panned out. I think she's going more the Rich way than the Matt way, which is really exciting.
Yeah. And just to add
I
on,
like the.
Go ahead, Dex.
No, go ahead,
no, you go ahead, Dex.
I love seeing like the reactions, like in the behind the scenes stuff. I haven't seen the whole documentary yet, but like through the years, seeing him interact and his excitement for his athletes doing well, like it looks in par with that stuff. But that's why I put in the comments, like, was such a lone wolf. Like, I'm going to do this shit alone, kill everybody, go back into the cave for the next year. Seeing like Tia and them kind of flourish and all that. And the blueprint was there with Rich. It's just weird to see it when the tools are similar and the outcome is just so different. But I think Tia's going on the same route as Mayhem as well.
Hey, Dex. So what's interesting, tell me what you think about this analysis. Rich was a CrossFit darling, and Matt was a CrossFit Games darling, and Tia was a CrossFit Games darling who now has pivoted to a CrossFit darling. She's making the leap, and the community is accepting her. And for some reason, I don't think Matt made that leap either in time or correctly, or for whatever reason, he's still siloed into the games, whereas we don't really see Rich and Tia. Rich is definitely out of the games, right? I mean, like, people just like the Mayhem Empire, you can go on their site and find videos of people losing 100 pounds, and Tia's making that journey too, or has made that journey.
Yeah, I think his body of work for building that team out though was so organic, bro. Like all the people he had before the Doms coming, all those people were like Mayhem people forever.
Yeah.
There was like people like Tasia who come in and they start working for Mayhem and stuff like that while they're on the team. It was just, I mean, he's the blueprint for all of it. Like he was always the darling. I remember the reason I got in like 2011 and 12 was seeing him work out with like Easy and Dan at Tennessee Tech. And it's like the reason I stayed in, and then lucky to be in Central East and like close with them. And they're all really cool people. That's why it's interesting to see how the formula is almost very similar, but it's just, I think his was just way more organic. And like you said, pretty much like the affiliate model. It grew out of Tennessee Tech's weight room into Mayhem affiliate into just the empire you know it as now. And so it's interesting to see people try to recreate it, but they're just, there's a weird speed bump for everybody. It's a little different.
Yeah. Rich is definitely like everyone sees him as a CrossFitter.
Yep.
Same with Bridges. Bridges was always seen as a CrossFitter.
Oh, always. I think him, and like when I got in, it was like just Feeler, and it was like the little man, like David versus the Goliath party, except for Rich beating the dog shit out of everybody, especially on Sundays, like CrossFit Tiger Woods. But that was what like got me into it. And you figure out he played normal sports, and he's like a bro. But yeah, it's it's interesting to see the formulas go and how people stick in, and kind of like with Bergeron, like when it got down to the nitty gritty of like, hey, we're going all in on the sport of it, wheels kind of fall off. And I know Ben to be like the father of all the subscriptions everybody has now. They were the first people to do it. It was like Misfit and everybody else comes out with this stuff. But, the only one that's kind of stood the test of time, like a long body of work, is Mayhem. It just keeps growing.
Well said. All right. Thanks for calling, dude. Enjoy the 26.2.
Yes, sir.
Thanks, Dex. One last thing I'd like to just note on this too is like, and I think, and I'm going to screw up the quote here, but Greg had said something like, business to him was creating unique and attractive opportunities for other people. And I think we've seen that with Rich, and we've seen that with Tia, in the sense of like the infrastructure that they're building around them, investing into media, investing into people to run the affiliates, to run the business side of stuff, and putting the right people in place to be able to allow that to grow and flourish for other people outside of them. I think the one thing that Matt had, which was interesting, because Strong Body and Mind had said something like, Matt made it very clear that he wasn't a coach. He wasn't going to do an affiliate. But when his time was done, he was going to ride off into the sunset and be done. And the thing is that changed. I did hear him say that as well, too. But then he built his HWPO and this other stuff. But I don't really think that was coming from him necessarily. I think there might have been ulterior motives that made that happen.
People around him saw him as marketable, like, hey, we can still milk this thing a little bit. And you got
that's
that vibe.
right.
Yeah,
and I think so that's why it wasn't necessarily creating an attractive like opportunity for other people. It was just kind of like building something there in hopes of like, well, this would kind of work. The other thing too is that he had one magic bullet, and he shot it off. And that was essentially that everybody wanted to know what his training was like. He had some secret, or he did something or whatever. And I think Matt knew that as well. So that way, when they put up his programming online, it did something crazy. Weren't the numbers on it just insane the first couple of months that he released that programming? So like, I think that Matt, if you were to just say, hey, take away anybody else that was influencing your decisions around HWPO and everything else, and if Matt just did what Matt wanted to do, I think he would have shot that bullet off. I think he would have taken that money, diversified it in his investments, and literally rode off into the sunset.
Yeah, moved into a cabin somewhere. Yep.
100%.
I agree. Caller, hi. Oh, hold on. For some reason, you're not, I don't got you. Okay, here we go. Caller, hi.
Hey, guys.
Hey.
Did you guys see Seth Page's last post about like leaning into more media?
No. But
it's worth watching.
Okay.
He just says that's what CrossFit needs to do. I know we're talking about 26.2, but it's a great post if you guys want to bring it up later. But I was just thinking when you're talking about Tia, why can't she be like all of us and just keep doing CrossFit? She could back off 30-40%, and when she's 35 still win and be relevant at 35. It's only 2 years from now, because she wouldn't have to train like she's doing now, but just keep doing the open, keep doing like what we all do, but she'd be at the top and relevant still, and still be good for her brand.
I'm sure she will, regardless of what she does. I'm sure she's still going to stay and do the open and those things, but I don't think she can back off 20% and fight off Lucy Campbell. Lucy's
no, I'm talking about Matt. I'm talking about when she's 35 in the next age bracket.
Oh yeah, I don't think Sousa was suggesting that she wouldn't Oh, and you mean to win the Masters, or you mean just do
Yeah.
CrossFit? Yeah.
And then when you're 45, you go to the next one and 50 and just keep doing it. And she could win
Mm.
20 in a row.
She might, but I also think like, I mean, when you win that many already, like, do you want to just go out on top, right? Like, isn't it the Batman saying like either die the hero, live long enough to become the villain? So like, I think it's more or less like, why would you not just hang it up on top and then allow that conversation to continue to go? Like, oh, if Tia was still around, you'd have this or you'd have that. And like that would kind of carry on the legacy. I agree though with your sentiment of what you're saying. I do agree with
Like we
you on
all
that,
do
but
this.
yeah, exactly. But I
You know,
think
we're all
with
doing the
her,
open. We all sign up for the open.
yeah, but I think with
she'll
her,
do
she
that.
hangs it up.
I do though think sports is very what have you done for me lately? And I think that if you step out of the competition, you will become, no matter who you are, irrelevant really quickly unless you have a very strong media team around you.
Katrin. I mean, I can go down a huge list.
Yeah.
Of I don't even know what they're doing.
I
now.
don't think Katrin
Yeah.
or Annie can get any lift on anything
Fake
that they do.
tatas didn't even help her.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, no
All right.
infrastructure.
Hey, we're gonna see
around it.
Rowan today.
Sean, we're going to see rowing today.
I think this is the week that we get a rower, with the announcement being at Wadapalooza next week. I feel like that's a nod towards week 2, just for HQ not really putting a real strain on that partnership next week.
All right. Thank you,
Interesting.
brother.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank
Bye for now.
Bye for now. Boudreaux, is this for the syndicate stream? Yes, it is. For all the streams. It's for any stream.
Getting ahead.
Whatever you want. Tia doesn't need to pivot. She's the best ever and won't ever be bested. Yeah, let's
True.
have her put that to the test for another
True.
5 years. I want to see. I disagree. Tia would be more of a coach than Rich would. Rich wants to be in the spotlight and on the camera. I don't get that vibe from Rich.
No.
I feel like he gets annoyed on camera sometimes.
Yeah, Rich is a homebody.
Yeah.
Rich
think
is a homebody. I don't think he minds that when he goes into his gym and it's empty.
I think he wants to hang out with his kids, work out, and hunt, and that's about it.
So what Souza was saying, he shot his magic bullet. HWPO was all the rage a couple of years ago. All the cool kids were doing it, not so much now.
Yeah.
Matt didn't make it by choice. Why do y'all keep ignoring the fact that he said once he was done, he was done? I don't think we were ignoring that at all. I think Souza said that explicitly.
I did. This comment's older, but yeah, that's right. And that's why I use that comment to strong mind and body or whatever the thing is, the handle is there. Sorry, I messed it up. But I use that as the point. Like, they were right. Matt did say that all along. And
he said it on the CrossFit podcast. He said, hey, when I'm done, you guys will never see me again.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I was saying. Ronnie, that's what I was saying when I talked about relevance. Go out on top one more year feels too much to me. I just feel like sports, man. If you don't sports, people are watching sports to see winners, not to track athletes and what happens to them when they're done. Like, I heard what's his name? John Elway lived next to Greg in Coeur d'Alene. And he says Greg says he's rich as fuck and driving around in a $1 million mahogany boat, but no one, like, he's out. Like I couldn't, I mean, him and Troy Aikman look like the same guy to me now. So CrossFit RDT stands for really dislike. Okay.
CrossFit. Don't be a jerk.
Getting controversial.
All right. Okay. They are running the, pre-reels now.
Here.
They got the hype going. They're previewing their series with the obese guy who's already lost 100 pounds. They're 5 minutes. They're 5 minutes from starting. You know what? I'm nervous for them. I'm nervous for the media. Yeah,
Me
the
too.
internet again. Yeah.
I'm nervous for them. I want it to go well.
I don't know I don't know the details of their streaming this week. Last week, I was not nervous at all. You got Charlie Doobie, who's just a world class at CrossFit Media. But this week, are they in an affiliate? Do we know where they are?
CrossFit Black Edition.
Okay, so they are in an affiliate. Yeah, so they're in an affiliate, which could give them more of a controlled environment. And hopefully they've, crossed all their T's and dotted all their I's coming into this next one here. But yeah, I really want it to go well for them. I think they earned it after the 115,000 is where I think it topped out with live viewers last week.
And over a million passed through the channel while the stream was live. 1.1 million.
Yeah, and we're at 52,000 and climbing pretty steadily. Like every time that number jumps, it jumps by a few thousand. So I think that they've earned it. I want to see this stream go really well for them with no hiccups.
No longer.
I'm gonna jump off so I can get to the Sentinel show, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you guys in a bit.
Thanks.
The Sentinel show Sean's referring to is the show we will be doing when they're no longer live. We will pop up again, and you'll get to see Taylor Self do it. I think being on the military base, I would feel more stable with the internet at a military base than an affiliate in Portugal.
Yes and no, because like you would think so on paper, right? But clearly that didn't shake out that way. So I don't know. I think there's a lot of private networks and stuff like that. It's not like they were tapped into like military Wi-Fi or like plugged into their router or something. Like, didn't they have to bring their own stuff through Charlie Doobie?
Oh, I don't know. I thought maybe since it's a fucking hangar, they had a big pipe there with
Yeah, but that's such a security breach with how crazy technology is. You know what I mean? You plug it in and you got some Mossad agent, you got some person in there that all of a sudden just steals all the information off of there just because they're plugged into your Wi-Fi.
Oh, that's a good point. This is an interesting comment. Do we think the 1 million was from people jumping around while the stream was glitching?
No, because it's not gonna, it could be. But
if I watch something and then leave and then come back to it, do they get 2 views?
While it's live?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's actually a really good question. I'll find out afterwards. So we'll have the answer when we come back with Bryson and Taylor for sure. But I don't know. I know it does after the fact.
99% sure CrossFit brought their own internet last week. No one wants to use military Wi-Fi. Well, they sure as fuck weren't using Wi-Fi. I was suggesting that they would have their own fiber optic cable in there. And then Sousa's saying, hey, man, they're not going to let them fucking patch into their internet at a military base, which is a really strong point. It takes me 45 minutes to log into my government computer and servers with security and VPN. I get half the bandwidth of not being on it. Oh, interesting.
I put something in the private chat for you, which is kind of funny.
What'd you say? Oh. Oh, that's cool. Wow.
Yeah, uninspected.
Yeah, that's awesome. That won't count as 2 views. Okay, so yeah,
right.
maybe so 1.1 million unique viewers passed through the show last week. We're minutes away, 1 minute away from them going live in Portugal if everything happens accordingly. They're showing, looks like their last preview of the games documentary. 74,000, like Sousa said. When Sousa mentioned just a few minutes ago how many people were watching, it was 50,000.
Yeah.
So they're piling in. I remember last week at the start, I saw it was only 65,000. The people were guessing, I was in a chat and people were guessing that this week's stream would be lower because it would just diminish the amount of attention people would give it as each week of the Open goes on. So far, that is proving incorrect.
Which is great. I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're climbing.
Slayer, Lucy Campbell takes down another one. They are not first off the skier. It is Amy Kringle. Kringle is done.
What did they call Lucy Campbell? The what Slayer?
The Queen Slayer?
Oh.
Came out of those blocks like a full-born sprinter. 2, 1, go.
Miriam Von Rohr won the Open last year, and she won the female division at 26.1. So what a treat to get to watch her do it live now, 26.2. Let's just see if they actually get their stream. Let's wait till we see their first shot.
Welcome.
There we go.
All right.
They're good to go. All right, guys. Time to watch in Europe. They're about 8 hours ahead. We will be back in 35 minutes. Love you all. Thanks for joining. Enjoy 26.2. Thank you, Sousa.